Alright, so I'm going to do a little video here on something I bought on Amazon Renewed. It's a cell phone. It's a Samsung Galaxy Z-Flip4. So yeah, obviously not the latest version, the Z-Flip5. I'll get into the reasons as to why I decided to get a renewed or refurbished phone instead of a brand new one. The phone I was using previously was this one. It's my daily driver. You've seen it on the channel before. It's the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Bought it in 2020, but for whatever reason the screen one day decided to not work anymore, so it's just a black screen. The phone seems to be working, like I can tell I was getting notifications and like it makes sounds and stuff like that, but the screen was just black. So this is no longer obviously useful to me, so I ended up going back to my old phone from 7 years ago. It's the Google Pixel 2. And I've been trying to get sort of limp by for a while to see if I can use this, but basically it's been pretty rough. Battery life is not that great. Obviously it's a 7-year-old phone from 2017, and it's pretty slow. Yeah, it'll do fine in a pinch, but I'd rather get something a little bit more modern. So the idea I had was, well, let me pick up like a Z-Flip5 refurbished, and I was looking at those prices. They were like $400 to $500. Prices actually been going up to like $550 now. And then I considered, well, what about going to the previous generation? Obviously it has a smaller cover screen, the Flip 4, and that one where those prices were more reasonable, and I just went for like the cheapest one I could find, which was this was like $240. And the idea was pick this up, and then if I like it, I'll just keep it. The Flip 6 is supposed to come out in July, so a couple months from now. And I may do the trade-in upgrade, because a lot of times Samsung will do these really good trade-in deals where during the sort of the pre-ordered period, when they're trying to push the phone out at the beginning, they will give you a really good deal on the trade-in. So right now, there's even a promotion going on for trade-in on a Flip 4 to get the Flip 5, and it's like $450 of credit. So, which is actually more than what I paid for this. It's $240. So actually I could just flip this around tomorrow and get an additional what, $210 of credit. It says $240, and we get $450 of credit. So that is an interesting proposition as well, but I'm not sure what the conditions of this is. The seller of this one had a 95% positive rating, which was okay, but not a lot of feedback. And the other thing that was kind of different was that this one showed actual images of what the phone was supposed to be. So we'll see if it actually matches or not. Now, granted, the resolution of those photos were kind of on the low side, so we'll see what is in this mystery box. Kind of a nondescript box here, Gizmo Trader. I think that's the name of the company. They obviously refurbish phones and then sell them on Amazon. They're obviously a third-party seller. A lot of the Amazon Renewed products some of them are sold by Amazon and shipped from Amazon's warehouses, but a vast majority of them are third-party sellers. So hopefully, if there's a problem with this, I can still return it. Supposedly, Amazon's return policy for Renewed products is 90 days. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. So, got a little bit of information from this company, 30-day money-back guarantee. And typically this does not come with retail packaging. Just comes like this. And there's the phone over there. This one comes with a charger. Not sure if it's Samsung branded or not. And USB-C cable. This cable looks pretty nice. It's got like fabric on the outside. And there's a SIM removal tool. It's just plastic holding the phone in place. So it was rattling around a little bit because there wasn't any foam or anything there. So I don't think it's going to be damaged from that, but it's sealed up in some nice plastic. Let's see the Z-Flip4 here, and has some. It's the blue one, as you can see. You can already tell. It looks like it's in pretty good shape, even though got to get it out of the plastic first. And that's kind of the thing about Amazon Renewed products is you're kind of rolling the dice a little bit. And so I've heard some stories that the condition of the products can be widely varied. Yeah, so this one, the condition was considered good. So I think that is just above acceptable is the lowest rating. So there's good, very good, and excellent. So it's just like second from the lowest rating. But this was the lowest priced one. My goal was to get the lowest priced one and maybe trade it in to get a nice, and then of course if they have a good trade-in promotion, you know, I imagine the Z-Flip4 is going to be around $1,000 to $1,200, and typically this promotions, if it's really good, I'm expecting it to be around maybe $500, so I can turn around this, take this $240 I invested in this and turn around towards maybe $500 of credit towards the newest generation, although I'm not sure if I will need it or not. But let's see what kind of condition this is in. Let's take a look at the back first. It's very glossy. It is, yeah, it's in pretty good shape. Don't have a macro camera. The good condition supposedly could have some scratches. And I'm looking at this, and actually the charge port's a good place to see. Yeah, there's a couple scratches here. Like I said, I wasn't expecting pristine condition for the price I paid. That's looking all right. This side. And this side looks pretty decent too. There's the fingerprint reader. There's the SIM card tray. Top looks pretty good. You can definitely see some swirl marks in the metal here because it is kind of shiny. The back is like this sort of matte finish, and fingerprints and swirl marks, yeah, don't show up at all. Let's see how the hinge feels. I'll fold this up. Feels nice and smooth, pretty decent. Not hearing any noises. I mean, this is better than I was expecting. I was expecting at least a fair amount of scratches, because it does say that in the description. Alright, so here's a look at the screen. There's some dirt or, I don't know, dust in that sort of crevice area here between the screen and the bezel. Not a big deal, I could probably clean that up. The screen itself looks pretty nice. It looks like the screen protector that this normally comes with has been removed. So that's something to note. You know, obviously, if this was used and then if the screen protector has scratches on it, they probably removed it. And of course, the screen itself here is going to be in pristine condition, which is pretty much what it looks like. So there are third-party screen protectors that you can buy for like $10. I may consider getting one of those, but I don't know. I didn't spend that much on this phone, so it might not even be worth it. But all the plastic on the side here feels really good. I don't feel any scratches on the screen. The center feels pretty good. So let's go ahead and turn it on. All right, got a little bit of charge in there. All right, so looking good. 9% battery needs to be charged. Go ahead and set this up, and we'll go ahead and I guess I'll use it for a little while. Come back in a couple of weeks. Today is May 10th, I believe, and I'll come back in a couple weeks and give you my thoughts on how things are holding up, and then we'll end the video at that point.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
Okay, so it's been about a week and a half since I last showed you this phone. Obviously, I've been using it pretty much as my daily driver, and I haven't any problems to report. Everything is working as expected. As I mentioned before, the only thing that I noticed was that the original screen protector was removed, and that is kind of common or typical for the Flip series. 3 and 4 tends to, especially here in the crease area, the screen protector tends to have air bubble up underneath, and then eventually it kind of creeps around to the side, and then kind of looks bad, and then you just have to just basically peel it off. Now, I have been using it without a screen protector at all, just to see if I would see any scratches from my daily use, and I have not. Of course, I haven't done anything on purpose to scratch the screen. I've just been using it as my regular phone, and it's been fine. I haven't noticed any dents or scratches or anything like that, so I am probably not going to bother applying a screen protector because it's working fine. I'm not getting any scratches that at least I can notice, and it seems like it's not worth the cost to me because it's like about $15 for one of the better screen protectors. They're kind of a pain to install, and since I only paid $240 for this, it's probably not worth getting. At the same time, it's also probably not worth getting a case for this. I was thinking about maybe getting a case for this, but this looks like this has had a case on it before, and I think one that they were using had some sort of adhesive to hold it onto the phone. I noticed some sticky stuff on the side here, which I got rid of. Not really a cosmetic defect, but just something left over from the previous owner. I don't think the seller of this actually did a thorough cleaning job. There's a lot of like dirt and stuff, and especially in the speaker grill here at the top, which, as you can see, I cleaned it out. You probably noticed some of that in the earlier segment. Not a big deal, just use some like a canned compressed air, and that pushed all that dust out of there. This thing is a dust magnet. A lot of dust gets into this little crevice here between the screen and the side. But cosmetically, it's pretty much as described by the seller. It's a few minor nicks along the metal edge here, and also a little bit of a dent or something right here on the hinge, which is barely noticeable. It's right there. You kind of feel it if you run your finger over it, but unless you're looking super carefully, you can see some scuff marks here along the metal side here. None of this stuff bothers me whatsoever because it is as described by the seller. I believe they listed this as refurbished good is the category, and that's the second to lowest one. The lowest level is acceptable, which I think the lowest one says that there might be scratches on the body and the screen. The level good means there might be scratches on the body but none on the screen, which is exactly what is described, and I feel that this phone matches that description. Now, I think my experience may not necessarily be the same as everyone else's. I think it really depends on how you select the seller that you purchase the phone from, because while it is an Amazon renewed program and does come in the 90-day guarantee or 90-day money-back guarantee with a 1-year warranty, every seller has different feedback. So I would check the feedback of that seller if you find a price that you like and the phone is in the condition that you're looking for, and see what that feedback is like, especially the 1-star feedback. So for example, on this particular seller, I think it's called the Gizmo Trader, I did check their 1-star ratings. They didn't have a lot, but most of the issues seemed to be Amazon related, something to do with the Amazon system, and somehow maybe the orders didn't get to the seller and the seller didn't ship in time, something like that. You can read those here on the screen. And so that's going to give you an idea of what kind of a seller that is and what kind of support you're going to get from that seller. And so that gave me enough confidence to go ahead and put in that order. So you may be wondering why I decided to go with Amazon Renewed versus Back Market. That's another popular seller of refurbished phones. And again, that's also a marketplace like Amazon, where you have a variety of different sellers that sell stuff through Back Market. And again, I would go through the same process and look at their feedback and then reviews and see what their 1-star reviews are like and whether or not you could live with whatever feedback you see there. Prices, of course, vary widely. For example, I got this for $240, and I can already tell now that the prices have gone up for whatever reason. It's kind of weird because already on the Flip 5, the prices are coming down. So again, this is a used market, so prices fluctuate kind of weird, kind of crazily. So sometimes you might see a really good price. And if you do, again, go through the process, check the reviews, etc., and you're probably going to need to pick it up pretty quick, because there were some ones on back market that are considering buying, but when I went back and looked at them, they were gone already. And I remember I saw one that was in the black color that was one that I was interested in, and saw for, I think it was like $205. It was really, really inexpensive. It was in the lowest condition fair, which means it probably has a bunch of scratches on it, which I was okay with, as long as the price is right. And I think I put it in my cart. I waited like a day. I was kind of thinking about it, and then it was already gone. So somebody bought that. So a lot of times the thing that you see for that price, usually there's just one of those. And then once that's sold, then the next one that's the lowest price will come up as the lowest price. So be aware of that. It's not like a market where you're buying new things. Basically, it's a used market, and when you see something, it's usually only one available at that price. The other thing about back market's kind of cool is that you can get a $25 off, which often will cover the tax on these, which is another reason why I was considering them, but for whatever reason, I went with this one with Amazon instead of back market, because as I said, the phones that we're looking at had disappeared. And then there was one that I was really considering, was like the rose colored one. It was $290, but then I didn't really feel like the color mattered so much at the end, so I just went with the cheaper option at the time. Anyway, I think that used phones like this are actually a viable option. I had not considered this previously. I was kind of a skeptic. I was, just going to just buy new phones and then, use them until they die. And well, now kind of considering, well, the prices of these are pretty, up there, getting up there now. This is like $1,000. A lot of the flagship phones are $1,500 or more. And when you get these used after a year or two, you can get a significant discount. As again, this was only $240. So yeah, if you're looking to save some money and maybe take a little bit of a risk, would definitely consider the used market. These do come with basically pretty good return policies, 90 days on Amazon renewed and 30 days on back market. I personally would avoid places like Facebook Marketplace, where you're buying these phones from just some random person. You don't know if that phone's stolen. A lot of times people they're desperate for money. Their phone's on a payment plan, and then they sell the phone. And then some 30 days, 60 days later, the phone gets like blacklisted because they obviously have stopped paying for the phone, and then you can't use the phone anymore. It basically turns into a brick. So you want to avoid that situation. I would definitely avoid Facebook Marketplace because you can't return it. A lot of the phones tend to be stolen. Just weird things like that. They'll advertise phones as being unlocked, and they're not. I've actually looked at some phones on Facebook Marketplace while I was searching for a phone, and ran into a few sellers that were advertising unlocked phones, and they didn't work with my T-Mobile SIM. Some of them wouldn't let me test my SIM. So it's just like, really kind of crazy stuff like that you see on Facebook Marketplace. Definitely do not recommend Facebook Marketplace for that. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough about this video. I am going to, now that I see like these marketplaces for used phones as a place to sort of look at things that I've been kind of wanting to buy. Like, for example, in terms of folding phones, I've been kind of interested in the Fold series from Samsung, so I might pick up maybe a Fold 3. I've been seeing some pretty good prices in those, and just kind of have that as like a phone to play with. And obviously there's reviews on these phones already, so that's why I'm not doing a review in the Flip 4, because this phone's been out for 2 years, etc. So if you're looking for a review in the Flip 4, there's plenty of other reviews on YouTube. This has just basically been my experience in the used marketplace on this phone and how things have been working out. And so far, absolutely fantastic. Definitely a thumbs up. Definitely going to be pretty sure I'm going to be keeping this phone. We'll have to see how, like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to see what the Flip 6 looks like and whether I can get like a huge trade-in discount. Because if I paid $240 for this, and if I get like $500 in terms of trade-in, the phone's like $1,000, then I think that's a pretty good deal. I might upgrade. But honestly, this phone's been working out really well. Even though it's 2 years old, it's still faster than my Note 20, which I bought 4 years ago, and I haven't had any problems. It's been working really well. It's nice, and I like the fact that it folds, etc. And I don't really need that big front screen, the cover screen that the Flip 5 will have and the Flip 6 will have. So I may not necessarily upgrade. We'll have to see. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Kind of rambled on, but hopefully I'll give you an idea of what to expect and what to look for in the used marketplace for these smartphones. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.